Hi, I'm Jenny Robertson, founder of the On Purpose Woman Global Community and founder and publisher of On Purpose Woman magazine. Welcome to Connections on Purpose. Whether you're here with us live on Zoom, joining us on Facebook, or watching later on YouTube, I'm glad you're here. This is your time to slow down, fill up, and connect with other heart-centered women who are making a difference in the world. I'm blessed to have one of those women here with me today. Mia Zachary is speaking on You Already Know, the superpower hiding behind your mild-mannered alter ego. And Mia, I love the bio that you sent me because I think it really illustrates the multidimensional aspects that make up most, if not all, women. And I'm going to read your bio in first person from you now. Mia writes, I've never been just one thing. I'm a multi-passionate person who refuses to be boxed in ever again. I'm a former paralegal and a current priestess. I'm a professional writer and an amateur witch. I'm logical and mystical, which means I collect neuroscience research and I read energy fields. I don't have to choose between being professional or spiritual. I get to be both without apology. And you can learn more about Mia at her website at ro7, the number 7, es.com. And that is also in the text of this video. Mia, can't wait to hear what you have to say. You're on.
Low pitch voiceover. After a light percussion intro, orchestral music swells to a historic crescendo as the title credits appear. The superpower hiding behind your mild-mannered alter ego. Dramatic voiceover. In every age, we have searched the skies for heroes without recognizing the greatest heroines already walking among us. Once upon a long time ago, there was a girl. At 5 years old, she had already begun developing a sophisticated threat assessment technique. How was Daddy's mood? Did his voice just change? Which bottle was he drinking from tonight? What did that facial expression mean? Her disassociated brain and dysregulated nervous system were forged by the hammer of abuse on the anvil of self-doubt. With training in Western psychology and Eastern healing arts, the survival traits of her childhood finally revealed their true nature. Hypervigilance became adaptive plasticity and emotional intelligence. Dissociation became the ability to hold multiple complex realities at once. People-pleasing became dynamic problem solving and the ability to feel intention. In due time, the child who was forced to trust her instincts became Reverend Mia Zachary, spiritual counselor, Reiki master teacher, and the founder of the Seven Ruses School for Intuitive Transformation. For 2 centuries, powerful tech industrialists believed that women's intuition is the world's greatest weakness. It's messy, emotional, irrational. So they built patriarchal empires of machinery and predictive algorithms designed to replace critical thinking and human compassion entirely. Before the rest of the story begins, think about the version of yourself that most people know. The capable ones, the reliable one, the nice one. The one who keeps everything moving, smooths conflicts, remembers birthdays, hits deadlines, and somehow still says, no problem, to yet another ask. Every superheroine has 2 identities. There's the mild-mannered version, and then there's the one who actually hides behind the glasses and sensible shoes. The bypasser has trouble recognizing the difference between who she truly is and who she learned to become. Many women show up in life as agreeably productive, high achieving, but emotionally restrained. Those performances help us get by and even succeed, but they are also mild mannered disguises. Most superheroines have heightened sensitivity to shifts in energy or to unseen danger. Female humans often sense when something is off, when a partnership isn't aligned, or when an opportunity is less than it appears. But the suppressor has been taught to distrust her feelings, afraid of being labeled dramatic or worse, hysterical. Women constantly navigate the world's noise, opinions, expectations, obligations, everybody else's urgency. In every comic book or graphic novel, there's a moment when the heroine has to tune out the chaos and listen for the signal of truth. But the distracted typically cannot or will not hear it or talks herself out of it. Most women have been conditioned to look outward for validation and to seek public approval. Because of that, the pragmatist often distrusts what she sees or refuses to believe her eyes. She views herself not as reflected, but through the lens of cultural image manipulation. The overthinker prefers to wait, research, and recheck before she acts. Being innovative turns into over explaining. Being attentive turns into decision paralysis, and feeling insecure turns into practical invisibility, even in rooms she should absolutely own. Women across the globe, taught, influenced, or forced to become standardized versions of themselves, quietly understood they were shrinking, second guessing their instincts, and handing away their authority. Then suddenly, as invisible waves of psychic energy erupted across the earth, these 5 women experienced higher frequency perceptions. There was a seismic shift in each life, an undeniable force that activated her, and she chose to remove her mild mannered disguise. She discovered the main ways her integrated intelligence communicated and embraced her new superpower. The empathetic storm opened their minds to abilities that humanity has always possessed but rarely trusted. One could see what everyone missed. One could feel the truth before it was revealed. One could hear the signals beneath the noise. One simply knew with unshakable certainty. And the rarest one of all could turn inward and face her truth with acceptance and love. Into a world that taught women to doubt the whisper, ignore the nudge, and silence their inner wisdom, the intuitives have awakened. Meet Witness. Her superpower is self awareness. She accepts herself without judgment and therefore recognizes her patterns, defenses, and motivations in real time. When she trusts her heart fully, she becomes resilient and unshakable, able to stand in her truth without shrinking. Listener's superpower is clear hearing. When she listens for what the moment itself is asking of her, she receives information that is otherwise ignored. She hears what is said and left unsaid through inner or subtle voices and frequencies others miss. Meet Empath. Her superpower is clear feeling. When she embraces her emotions, she becomes unmistakably connected to her environment and everyone in it. Highly compassionate, her ability thrives both in relationship and in strong boundaries. Visionary's superpower is clear seeing. She can detect changes in people, patterns, and possibilities before they become obvious to anyone else. Constantly perceiving hidden truths and seeing potential outcomes, she may reveal things others aren't ready to look at. The superpower of resource is clear knowing. She acts from absolute confidence when she steps fully into a grounded certainty about who she is and what she's here to do, because she simply knows without evidence, process, or explanation. Others look to her for direction. And now I'll reveal the secret twist behind the empathetic storm. These women were never gifted with new abilities. Their awakening simply amplified what was already there. The intuitives may be fictional superheroines, but the women in this audience are not. Your intuition doesn't wear a cape, but it has helped you, guided you, saved you, and inspired you more times than you realize. Somewhere inside of you is a superheroine who sees what others miss, feels what others overlook, hears what others tune out, and knows what logic cannot explain. That woman doesn't need to be invented, she needs to be activated. I'm Professor M, founder and headmistress of the Seven Roses School of Intuitive Transformation. Every superheroine has an origin story, not because the past defines it, but because understanding the protections unlocks her power. And all five of those powers align with a real life, trainable skill that dwells in your nervous system, your mind, and your heart. Witness, empath, listener, visionary, resource. Everything you want to know about them and about yourself is waiting inside of my 6-week Insight Activation class. To get all of the details, scan the QR code on the screen or visit integratedintelligence.me. That's INTEGRATED intelligence.me. Every superheroine has an origin story. Insight activation could be yours. The world needs more women who can fully occupy the spaces they're already qualified to hold. Maybe your next shift isn't becoming more. Maybe it's disguising yourself less. Low voiceover. An orchestra performs the closing theme music as the final message rolls across the screen. Every superheroine has an origin story. Insight activation might be yours. The end.
Wow. Oh, Mia, I love that so much. Oh my gosh, your years of writing, was it romance novels? I think you
Romance
wrote for many
novels,
years, and
mysteries.
just your beautiful, wow. That is so amazing. I love it so much. I want to
And I
ask
would
those of
like
you
to
who are here
share
with
one
us.
thing that we
Okay, go
talked
ahead.
about in the breakout group,
Mhm.
and that was the fact that my intuition created this presentation. When you put out the call for speakers, I had no idea what I was going to talk about. And this title just came through my fingers out of nowhere. And then I was like, oh crap, now I have to write it. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you for this
Oh,
opportunity, Jenny.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome. I see a graphic novel here in somebody's future. I want to ask those of you who are here with me on Zoom if you could unmute yourself so we can give me our appreciation by hooping and hollering and clapping a little bit. So,
Woo! Wow.
yay!
Yeah, it was
Woo,
fantastic. Good
fun.
job.
Wow. So I want to thank all of you who joined us either here live on Zoom or catching the replay. Thank you for being part of our community today. If you want to join us for future Connections on Purpose gatherings on Zoom or in person, or explore On Purpose Woman magazine, just visit opwgc.com. You'll find information, opportunities for inspiration, connection, and growth, both personally and professionally. So until next time, stay curious, stay inspired, stay connected, stay intuitive, stay in the witness, stay in the listener, stay in the empath, stay in the visionary, and stay in the resource, and stay on purpose. Thank you all for watching.